We need to see the problem in human terms, so we found two families living on two very different islands, Manhattan and Madagascar. Why Manhattan? Well, here, as in most developed countries, people enjoy patterns of consumption and levels of technology which allow them more choice in their lives. The developed countries consume over 2/3 of the world's natural resources. And in an average lifetime, an American will use 120 times more of these than a Madagascan. Although population growth in the developed world remains low, less than 2 children per family, consumption and waste from the north is polluting the entire planet. Why Madagascar? The threat posed in Madagascar, like most developing countries, is one of massive population growth. Here, families have an average of 7 children, and today's population of 12 million will nearly triple in 30 years' time. To support this huge population growth, one of the fastest in the world, desperately poor farmers are forced to find new land for crops. And every year, huge tracts of virgin forest are cut back and burned, wrecking not only the land resource, but the island's unique wildlife as well. So in their different ways, each family symbolizes the effects we all have on our local and our global environment. Michael Abbott is married to Sarah Weeks. They are musicians and have 2 children, and they live on the Upper West Side in Manhattan. Chouchon, a farmer, is married to a Tudi. They live with their 6 children in a village near the Ranamafana rainforest in southeastern Madagascar.
Come out in my arms? Yeah. Okay, come on. Sit up a sec so I can get you. Okay. Oh, good boy. Good boys.
Ritur aku Mas tahu nak? Mas tahu Neni?
Kusike. Kusike.
Chouchon is 38 and Etudi 28. Chouchon comes from a family of 3, Etudi from a family of 14.
I'm going to watch how much you put in, okay? Let's see.
Gabriel will be 6 tomorrow, and Natty is 2.5.
Ooh. I think that'll do it. Do you want some syrup on your pancakes too?
Their father, Michael, has 3 brothers, and Sarah has a brother and a sister.
I
have many children, and I will have a lot of problems if I don't plant enough food for them. My aim is to feed my children, so I have to grow a lot of crops. My father isn't here anymore. I'm on my own now, and I have to help myself and my children. So I will try to plant as much sugarcane as possible.
Well, I would have never guessed that I would have ended up living in Manhattan. I grew up in the Midwest, and I had a big front yard and a big backyard, and my mother gardened, and somehow I never envisioned myself living in an apartment building. And I certainly didn't think that I would raise kids here. I met Michael in school, and Michael grew up in Manhattan, and I wanted to be a musician and a writer, and to me this was the place that offered that. And I really wasn't thinking about my family, my kids per se, when I moved here. I was in my early 20s.
Isn't it amazing the way the pieces fit?
Good.
Piece of work, isn't it?
Good. Let's do the perfect spinning circle.
It's a perfect spinning circle, nice and round. Now it's fun again. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Life is difficult at the moment, and I know we should not have so many children. But because I'm on my own, I need to have many to be my friends and to help me with my work. As you see, they are helping me already.
Well, I think that I always thought I would have 2 children. I certainly believe in zero population growth. I also now have 2 little boys and have no desire to have more children, so that's easy. And also we have a lot of contraceptive choices, so it's not as if it's a struggle for us to make that choice. It's simply a choice that we've made, and I don't see any reason why that won't be the case. We have our 2 children, and we won't have any more children. It's nice to be able to just say that and know that that's the truth. It's not something that we ever worry about.
I could foresee that changing in 8 years.
I can't.
I know. I mean, it seems very unlikely, but I could, it doesn't. I wouldn't rule it out totally. I mean, I don't want to have more children at this point either.
As much as I love my kids, and I can imagine maybe when Natty's not 2, but he's 6, and it's a little more manageable, I would have loved to have had a daughter. I could imagine wanting another kid, but I think it would be very irresponsible in this day and age to have more than 2 children. I just really feel that's something that we can do. That's not a big sacrifice. We have our children. We have a wonderful family. We don't have to have more children.